Team USA will be at full strength tonight in the round of 16.
And on behalf of all Americans, thank you for getting rid of that ridiculous red card.
A lot of praise being pointed toward President Trump for this stunning flip by FIFA, although the president this morning saying all he did was make a phone call. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Adrian Ward. Yeah, this stunning reversal, lifting a red card suspension for star striker Florent Balogun, making him eligible to play tonight against Belgium. Belgium is now appealing the decision by FIFA. But with tonight's game now just about 8 hours away, the clock is ticking, and obviously the stakes could not be higher. President Trump credits FIFA for making the right move, but he says his involvement was minimal.
When you're going, no, he didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players, a very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. Yes, I asked for a review by FIFA.
The Union of European Football Associations says FIFA crossed a red line with this red card decision, writing, quote, "We express our disbelief at such an unprecedented, incomprehensible, and unjustifiable decision," end quotes. Belgium is also appealing the move, while other Euro coaches are outraged.
It's a bad decision. Not good for the sport.
Yes, for Belgium, who will now have to defend against Balogun tonight, their coach is mocking the decision, invoking April Fool's Day, saying, "I didn't know that at the World Cup, the 5th of July is actually the 1st of April," end quotes. The U.S. team itself is just excited to have one of their best players back.
I think he's just excited that he can actually contribute on the field and not just be a cheerleader. But he's got a big smile, and he's been beaming ear to ear, since we all found out the news.
Tonight's match gets underway at 7. It's being held in Seattle, where the U.S. defeated Australia earlier in the World Cup. Here in Lincoln, you can watch those games at a watch party here tonight at the Rail Yard, hosted by the American Outlaws. You can see just how crazy it's been for the first 4 games of this tournament so far. Download the Now Local News app to get updates there. A Team USA loss would mean the end of the World Cup run for them. That party kicks off tonight at 7 as well. All right, let's get to weather here this morning. Beautiful blue skies right now. It's already very warm outside, though. We got temps in the mid-80s out there so far. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get a look at our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. It is not too bad of a morning and afternoon. We're all in the about low to mid-80s, but we do have lots of moisture, so it feels like the upper 80s. Nothing that I haven't said before, am I right? If you got any plans to go out to that Haymarket soccer game, looks just fine. No jacket will be needed, that is for sure. We've got a little bit of a wind, about south 5 to 13 miles per hour. You can see a little bit of clouds moving into parts of just north of Scotts Bluff near Shattern. Other than that, a whole lot of sunshine. Actually, there's a little bit of fair weather clouds starting to develop across southeast Nebraska. Very cool stuff there. Low to mid 80s for the whole state, 87 up in Shattern. They've been the warmest all through this morning. The rest of us, about 82 to 84 degrees. The moisture, we're seeing some purples kind of splattered everywhere, so that is quite humid, and it's making our temperatures feel like the upper 80s, no lower 90s just yet. That will increase going into this afternoon. Southeast Nebraska is dodging the wind right now out towards the west, about a south wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. For the rest of the day, I think we will definitely top off at that 90-degree mark, and then rain chances will increase as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, and that's all due to a cold front. I'll show you that whole forecast in a few.
Thank you very much, Houston. Developing now, the man accused of killing and shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk is in front of a judge today. Kirk was gunned down during an appearance on a college campus in Utah last September. Today, for the first time, evidence and testimony are being presented. Some of Kirk's family members are attending. ABC's Alex Stone is at the courthouse in Provo, Utah.
10 months after Tyler Robinson allegedly shot and killed 31-year-old conservative influencer Charlie Kirk.
The senseless and needless taking of Charlie Kirk's life has shattered the lives of those he loved and those who loved him.
Today, a Utah judge is hearing evidence and testimony against 23-year-old Robinson. Robinson is accused of murdering Kirk as Kirk spoke to a crowd at Utah Valley University. Prosecutors allege Robinson had hatred for Kirk's conservative views. Robinson now charged with aggravated murder, among other counts. Today, in what is like a mini trial that could last all week, prosecutors have to prove to the judge they have enough evidence to move forward to trial. Robinson has yet to enter a plea.
During a preliminary hearing, the defense is going to be able to cross-examine the witnesses. So they're going to have more kind of like a mini deposition.
Robinson's attorneys fought allowing media coverage of the preliminary hearing, but Kirk's widow, Erica, has called for full media access to show all proceedings. Defense attorneys were overruled. The testimony and video played in court are expected to be graphic. Kirk's parents and his widow are attending court for the first time, and sources tell ABC News they're likely to step out when video of the murder is played for the judge.
We're going to see evidence having to deal with DNA, with fingerprints, with palm prints, with surveillance evidence.
In a newly released statement today, Erica Kirk saying Charlie was a beloved husband, son, brother, friend, and father. Every court proceeding serves as a painful reminder of his death and the loss that has irrevocably impacted our lives and the lives of his children. If the judge decides there is enough evidence to take the case to trial, and if Robinson is convicted, he could face the death penalty. Alex Stone, ABC News, Provo, Utah.
Now to the latest in the war in Iran. The Iranian late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's funeral is underway, delaying peace talks. Thousands flooding the streets as a vehicle holding several coffins painted with the Iranian flag made its way down the streets of the capital of Tehran. Khamenei was killed with several members of his family in an airstrike as the U.S. and Israel launched their war with Iran on February 28th. Iran has said they will not resume negotiations with the U.S. until after his funeral services wrap up. Meanwhile, gas prices are falling, even with the lack of peace talks happening right now. Gas Buddy's latest report just into our newsroom showing the average cost here in Lincoln dropped more than 7 cents a gallon. That average is now at $3.55 a gallon. Citizen journalist Brian showing us $3.59 a gallon here over the weekend on our Now Local News app. This is in South Lincoln. Prices are down across 41 states overall, according to Gas Buddy, including Nebraska. Our state average dropping nearly 9 cents a gallon to $3.46, while the national average is at $3.71. Gas Buddy says it's not only monitoring the Iran war, but the Ukraine war as well that could impact future pricing. Only on 8s, one Lincoln family is keeping a patriotic tradition flying. For more than 2 decades, a father and son duo giving their time putting up and maintaining dozens of American flags for the holiday. Now, as they celebrate another year of the tradition, they're also asking for a little help to keep it going. Channel 8's Emma Norwood caught up with the family.
These flags may be coming down today, but that doesn't mean the spirit isn't still alive. Going forward, the Vosasic family is hoping with a little community support, this staple in the West Bay neighborhood can keep flying. Every summer, red, white, and blue lines the streets of West Lincoln. It serves as a symbol that the 4th of July is finally here.
It's a big hit. We'll have people come by honking the horn, waving.
Behind the display is Bill Vosasic, spending 21 years installing, caring for, and later removing the flags. Over time, family, friends, and volunteers joining in, turning the project into a community tradition. One that means so much to so many.
I had a lady a number of years ago stop by and she was crying. And I says, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "My son at that time was in Afghanistan. And it meant a lot to her to have those flags out." So, you just hear so many of those type of stories, and that's what really drives us to do what we do.
In the last 10 years, Vosasic passing the torch to his son, and eventually to his grandson, sharing the main reason behind the holiday.
Went through and talked about it and explained to them a little bit about, why we do what we do. And the volunteering part to me is a big part, is if we can get the youth to continue those traditions and volunteering and giving back to the community and giving back to the military.
Now, many of the flags are showing their age after taking on Nebraska's weather. So the family is hoping others can step up to help keep the tradition alive.
I've had as many as 8 or 10 flags damaged during some of the storms we've had over the last couple of years. And so that, again, you know, the expense of it all, and then it's just continual maintenance.
There's a link to the West Day Neighborhood Association in this article on KOKNTV.com. Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Happening tonight, the Beatrice community is keeping a close eye on the city council meeting. There are proposed plans to make Highway 77 3 lanes instead of 4 in Beatrice. Officials say it's for safety improvements, but some of the people who live there are upset with this change. Tonight, the city council is expected to declare its support for the project along with the mayor of Beatrice, and they'll explain why they are on board with the plan. And there are other proposals to make changes to a bridge and sidewalks near where the construction will take place. We'll keep you an eye on this meeting and keep you updated. Still ahead this morning, flooding fears from the Midwest to the East Coast. What areas are being hit the hardest and where some are still bracing for more rain.
More popular supporters swear it improves skin health, injury healing, reduced muscle soreness, performance improvements, even hair regrowth. But what does the science say? Well, there is some evidence that red light therapy may aid in hair regrowth under certain conditions. It can regrow some hair, but is more effective improving hair density. It seems to help, but not a miracle worker. And when it comes to supposed benefits like fat loss and metabolism, the evidence is relatively weak at this time. A study on high-level cyclists did show improved time to exhaustion using red light therapy, but more research needs to be done there too. Well, an FDA hearing in late late July may lead to a peptides boom. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. supports peptides. They're typically taken as a subcutaneous injection to help with injuries, muscle recovery, metabolism, and more. But the peptide therapies being touted online for wellness and longevity benefits have not undergone large-scale, rigorous clinical trials involving humans. And researchers have found that people in their 80s who maintain an exceptionally quick walking pace, dubbed super movers, are far more likely to stay mentally sharp compared to their slower moving peers of the same age. Prior research has linked regular exercise to greater volume in the hippocampus, the brain's hub for memory and navigation. And the study found the super movers tended to preserve hippocampal volume as they aged. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Well, I must be a super mover. I'm quite a fast walker. Well, we are tracking some heat, and I don't know if I want to be walking fast in this heat, but we do have cold fronts soon. I'll show you that here in a few.
Get in the game with the Now Local News app. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the app and submit your best sports moments. Share the highlights from your favorite plays, top performances, and big wins. Your videos might even be featured on our newscasts. Earn points for each accepted submission and redeem them for Visa gift cards. Help us capture the excitement as it unfolds. Download the Now Local News app and start sharing today.
For the quality furniture you're looking for, make the drive to Beatrice and visit Sheer Quality Furniture, offering free delivery to Lincoln. High quality furniture at a great price. Sheer Furniture in Beatrice.
To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we'd love to see you at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy.
Our menu is handcrafted to have something for everyone.
Everyone.
My favorite, the Butter Burger Deluxe.
Definitely cheese curds.
Chocolate frozen custard.
From the juiciest bites to the sweetest scoops.
We'll make all your favorites fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh, just for you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
This right here is what the experts call a problem. Today I'm lifting some sunken concrete. So again, this is simply forming a new layer between the soil and the concrete, and it's expanding as we speak.
That's right.
That's moving.
It's moving.
Son of a gun.
Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's weirdly satisfying.
Isn't it?
Right now, more than 60 million Americans are under a flood watch after strong storms caused widespread damage. That flooding impacting all portions of the country from the Midwest to the East Coast. ABC's Matt Rivers explains the cleanup efforts underway.
Hey there, so as the rain keeps coming down here in Brooklyn, you can see the effects of the last couple of storms. This tree falling on top of this car here in Brooklyn. There's another tree on the other side of the road that also came down. It's blocked the street entirely, and with rain like this, it's making cleanup efforts for officials that much harder. There's hundreds of downed trees, not only in New York, but also across New Jersey. We know power outages are a big deal after a weekend of storms that really had a huge effect. Not only the storms, but also the heat that we saw, record-setting heat in some cases, leading to at least 25 suspected deaths, those deaths related to the heat, according to officials across 10 counties in New Jersey. We saw major effects from heat in Washington, D.C. We saw storm damage in Wisconsin at Lake Geneva up there. So we have seen a lot of really impactful weather events across the country over the last few days. And now, for at least the mid-Atlantic, it only seems to be getting worse. You can see the rain really coming down here. The threat today is going to be flooding all across the mid-Atlantic region. Cities like Pittsburgh, over to Hartford, Philadelphia, here in New York City, all going to be impacted by this. And officials are going to have to deal with that as they try and clean up from the last two rounds of storms. So, you know, it's just going to be kind of building one on top of the other. It makes the job that much harder. As authorities say, it'll probably be a couple days before we get back to normal. Back to you.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, taking a look out towards the Pacific. Look at this thing churning around. There's a super typhoon, Bobby. It's got 161 mile per hour max winds, and it is just out there in the Pacific. It's let's zoom out, why don't we? You can just see, you just look and you can tell, okay, there is something brewing out there. Yeah, it's taking a track towards the west-northwest. Up here, should take a path up towards Shanghai and Tokyo, Taiwan, here in the next about 24 to 36 hours. But that is definitely a rainmaker, and it just missed, I think, Haiti it was. But the thing is continuing its strength out towards the Pacific. All right, what about here across really the United States? It's pretty high. I mean, look at that. Temperatures up towards Canada in the upper 70s, lower 80s. They're used to snow and a little bit colder temperatures, but all of us across the United States feeling pretty hot. It's already 97 down in Phoenix. And satellite and radar, they're showing a little bit of a system. We got one system there. We got a little something going on there. Off towards the east, just some afternoon, spotty rain and thunderstorm chances. We are going to get some thunderstorm chances as we go into Wednesday evening into Thursday. Right now, models are pinpointing okay. It looks like we will get some rainfall in the form of maybe even some severe weather. Here's today, not much happening. We got a few clouds starting to develop out there. Marginal risk for the northwest portion of the state. That's just going to be due to 2 most likely isolated thunderstorms, which could become severe, most likely up towards Cherry County into the Dakotas as we go into this evening. And then Tuesday, we're looking at just sunny skies and then another chance for some severe weather out towards the northwest. This time, it includes Kippahaw County, just north of O'Neill, off towards the southwest. Same thing there. About 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is really going to be the main time frame for any showers and thunderstorms. That's going to be Tuesday evening. We're staying dry in eastern Nebraska. All right, Wednesday, once again, some sunny skies, and then boom, here comes our cold front. Right there is, this is the NAM model, but it shows some isolated storms developing. Now, all of these will be some wind makers. You can kind of tell the wind is going to be moving up towards the northwest, moving these storms like this. That's why they look all weird and disorganized right there. But those are going to have some wind with them as they move down towards the southeast. And then they will bring maybe a little bit of hail within them also. So that is going to have to be something to watch. I would not be surprised, maybe even a slight risk due to the wind and hail potential as we get into tomorrow. We'll see what they do with that. There's 1 cloud, 2 clouds, 3 clouds out there. Lots of blue skies. 84 feels like 87 though. Taking a look across the region, got a little bit of cloud cover up there, and that's going to be the system bringing a few storms into parts of our state. Cumulus Field off towards our east. Whole lot of sunshine. Grand Island and south, a little bit of cloud development there. Temperature-wise, low to upper 80s. 87 Chadron's our warmest temperature. 84 Beatrice, Lincoln, 83 in Omaha. We do have some spots of, like, look at this, 75 for a dew point in York. That's near tropical dew points right there, so it is quite muggy. It feels like the upper 80s and maybe some lower 90s trying to pop up here in the next 30 minutes. The winds are continuing just further off towards the west, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Eastern Nebraska, we should stay on the lighter side on the winds. Should top off right at that 90-degree mark, and if you have any plans for this evening, soccer game looks just fine, just a little warm. Wind gust staying less than 15 miles per hour. Tonight, upper 60s, right around that average of 66 degrees. Now next week, we're going to be well above average for temperatures and well below average for precipitation. Let's see how that looks on the 7-day forecast. Wednesday evening and then Thursday, some storms possible. But now as we go into the weekend and starting Monday, that's when things turn a little bit heat, like upper 90s, maybe even some triple digits. I think models are wanting to go down a little bit on the heat, but that's definitely going to be something to watch on a hot and dry stretch.
Welcome to July in Nebraska. All right, thank you very much, Houston. Still to come here, fireworks in folly, why some incidents turned dangerous and even deadly as thousands celebrated our nation's 250th birthday.
Figuring out how to juggle work and take care of mom was a puzzle. But once I found Synergy Home Care, everything fell into place. It was everything she needed and just what I needed too.
At Baxter Toyota, we won't sell you a car. We'll help you buy one. Choose from our incredible selection of new Tundra and Tacoma trucks, or on our great lineup of SUVs, including the all-new redesigned 2026 RAV4 at toyotaoflincoln.com.
Our American warriors are tough, determined, disciplined. They sacrifice their own well-being to defend our liberties. And they never leave the injured behind.
Good? Yeah, brother.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots. We are a personal injury law firm bringing that warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Next, E.T. Taylor and Travis's wedding weekend, what you didn't see. Plus, Keanu Reeves brings his legendary love of motorcycles to E.T.
With the magic of editing. Come on!
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
Ernie's Mattress First, your local sleep specialists.
It's replacement window season. You have ugly, hard to open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows. Because when you buy two, you get two free. Buy two Champion windows, get two free? I guess that means if you buy four, you get four free. Buy six, get six free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy Two Get Two free sale ends soon.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
My hobbies have changed over the years, but I still love my gadgets. My caregiver from Synergy Home Care does too. I teach her all I know, and she keeps me sharp too.
Functions and mishaps playing fireworks shows and celebration across the country over the weekend. Some turning deadly. One other incident involved a passenger plane. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack.
This morning, from the skies to the stands. Multiple firework mishaps now under investigation after the holiday weekend. In Southern California, a car catching fire after fireworks exploded outside this home in Chino, killing a woman and injuring 3 others.
Everybody get back! The car was just engulfed with flames.
In Provo, Utah, fireworks sparking a large brush fire near Slate Canyon. Mishaps even during professional shows. This fire breaking out on the Brooklyn Bridge during the Macy's fireworks show in New York. And in Chicago,
Tower, we just had a firework hit our plane, Delta 1076, we're continuing.
the pilot of a Delta Airlines flight reported a firework hit the plane as it was preparing to land.
We're just hoping it was just the mortar that went off underneath, but definitely felt a big bang.
The flight from Atlanta landed safely. Meanwhile, back in California, fans running for cover as fireworks shoot into the crowd after a soccer match at BMO Stadium in LA. The incident blamed on a malfunction. And in Fresno County, an off-duty sheriff's canine named Santy was killed after getting spooked by fireworks and running into the street. Police overnight were searching for the driver who hit him. And despite the warnings every year about the danger of fireworks, police on Long Island, New York say a man was killed in his backyard when a firework blew up in his face and struck him in the head. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, overnight strikes, how people in Kyiv are reacting to deadly Russian attacks this morning, why President Trump is reluctant to spend more money to help Ukraine.
I'm Roy Christensen.
from Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Breaking overnight, Russia launching a barrage of attacks in Ukraine, killing at least 14, dozens more injured, according to local officials. Right now, emergency workers are combing through the rubble of residential high-rise buildings that suffered direct hits, looking for survivors. You can see the damage here. Reduce the rubble in this residential building in this video next to me. ABC's Karen Hua reports.
Overnight, Ukraine's capital reeling after a deadly Russian attack. Several people were killed and dozens injured, according to Kyiv. Explosions and plumes of smoke seen across the skyline, as well as cars and buildings on fire. Before the attack, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in this video message, warns that Russia is preparing a new strike and urges allied countries for help. Saying, quote, "We must put pressure on Russia so that there is peace. Ukraine has already provided all the proposals, all the diplomatic options. We expect that during these months ahead, the conditions for decent peace will be approached by either force or diplomacy." President Trump is set to meet with President Zelensky at the NATO summit in Turkey tomorrow amid heightened security to make another push to end the war, which is now in its 5th year. In recent weeks, Ukraine has used mid-range drones to increase strikes on Crimea, trying to isolate the peninsula. The area was seized by force and illegally annexed by Russia in 2014. A Kremlin advisor says Russia continues to emphasize preference for a diplomatic settlement. Ahead of the NATO summit, referring to the end of the war, a senior official tells ABC News, quote, "We're hopeful that we can make progress toward doing that when the president gets together with President Zelensky, and I'm sure he'll follow up with President Putin as well." Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a live look outside at our ABC CMS camera. Had a little bit of a stroke there, but hey, there we go. Blue skies, lots of sunshine right now. Temperatures in the mid-80s, very warm outside. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's got a quick look at our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. I was watching that big old truck taking the turn. I mean, it looks like the road is a little better than what we've been seeing. I remember, I think 2 weeks ago, I saw a truck absolutely destroy some of those cones. But right now, Beatrice, is there any cars out there? I'm not sure. I see 2 clouds, though. Looks pretty quiet. Oh, I think that was a wasp. Ugh, nasty. We do have a few clouds out there. We got those afternoon cumulus clouds starting to develop across southeast Nebraska. Out towards the west, those clouds are a little thicker, and those are going to have some rain and thunderstorms across northwest Nebraska as we go into this evening. Temperatures are pretty warm across the whole state. No 90s just yet. We're looking at 87 to about 82 degrees. We're at 84, and we got the dew points up there, 60s and 70s. Look at that, some spots with that purple in the mid 70s for dew points. So it does feel like the upper 80s, lower 90s here in the next about 15-30 minutes. Would not be a surprise. Just a summer day in Nebraska, but the winds are out towards the west. We could use a little bit of that across southeast Nebraska, but it looks like we'll stay at less than 10. About lower 90s to top off. If you got any soccer plans, looks just fine. The rain chances will come on Wednesday evening into Thursday. Looks like a decent chance for some rain. I'll show you the whole forecast, main weather.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. New at midday, a Hastings family is happy to be alive after their garage caught fire overnight. The Hastings Fire Department sharing these videos with us. You can see the heavy damage to the garage, but city officials say the rest of the home is going to be okay. The family of 4 was safely evacuated, as well as 2 cats and a dog. No one was injured, although the cats did have to receive veterinary care after the incident. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Developing now, health officials are warning about a parasitic infection that's spreading quickly across the country. 18 states now seeing cases of cyclosporasis, a potentially dangerous stomach bug that can be traced to produce in water. ABC's Armando Garcia explains what health experts are saying.
Health officials are warning cases of a parasitic infection known as cyclosporasis are large and growing. Michigan's health officials consider it an outbreak in the state, with over 570 confirmed cases, well over the average of 50 cases a year. But cases are also spreading nationwide. The CDC monitoring nearly 150 cases in 17 other states since May 1st. Doctors say the parasite is found in stool that can contaminate drinking water, fresh veggies, and produce like leafy greens and cilantro products. But the source of this outbreak has not been identified. At least 20 people have been hospitalized.
This is a parasitic infection that causes what we call severe gastroenteritis. That's that severe form of food poisoning, the nausea, the vomiting, the diarrhea. And what leads people to the emergency room is the complication of profound dehydration that comes as a result of this.
Health officials say that unlike typical food poisoning, symptoms caused by cyclosporiasis do not improve over a few days, can last up to a month, and can relapse. Symptoms can develop up to 2 weeks after coming into contact with the parasite. Treatment for infection often include antibiotics, supportive care, and staying hydrated, with additional testing sometimes needed to identify these cases.
Symptoms can be pretty debilitating, including that explosive diarrhea. What's particularly scary about this parasite, Cyclospora, is you can't see or smell or taste it.
Health experts are urging people to properly clean their food, even if it says it's pre-washed, avoid drinking the water when swimming, and to frequently wash their hands with soap and water. Well, so far, local and federal authorities have not been able to find a connection between all of these cases, but they're urging people to report any symptoms they develop to their doctors. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Right now, an investigation is underway after a deadly shooting killing one Ohio police officer. It happened in Rittman, Ohio. That's in Wayne County. The sheriff says it started around 9:30 last night. One officer was killed. 2 others were injured. The suspect is also dead. 2 other civilians were also hurt. The sheriff describing what exactly happened and why shots were fired.
Our dispatch center received 911 call with some type of disturbance and shots fired. Officers responded to the area and immediately started taking fire. At this point in time, we have lost an officer in the line of duty, and 2 other ones have been injured.
The investigation is underway. July 4th is the time for celebration, but it's also a day that historically has large amounts of gun violence. 2023 analysis of about a decade of law enforcement data shows it often has more U.S. mass shootings than any other day. July 5th tends to come in second. Sadly, officials say this past weekend was no exception, in addition to the Ohio shooting there. Amy Kiley reports on dozens more shooting victims in places around the country.
Independence Day weekend is resulting in heartbreak for some U.S. communities. At least 1 woman is dead and 8 other people are injured after a shooting in Fort Wayne, Indiana yesterday. It's unclear what started the violence. New York police say after Saturday's fireworks,
the family barbecue was taking place in the courtyard when an unknown male fired multiple rounds into the courtyard.
Injured 8 people, half of them children. The youngest victim, just 6 years old, was shot in the abdomen.
Officials in Pensacola, Florida say a teen takeover event ended with a shooting that left a 19-year-old man dead and at least 6 others wounded. Police say the youngest victim is 16.
We saw numerous people on the ground suffering from gunshot wounds. Officers immediately began providing first aid.
Phoenix area officials report a shooting at an entertainment spot sent 5 minors to the hospital Saturday. And the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is looking into a man's death in Memphis. Officials say National Guard members were helping police chase him yesterday when he allegedly turned a handgun on them. They say the troops then shot the man and killed him. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
All righty, taking a look at our, let's see, super typhoon. There it is. Yes, that is our super typhoon, and we've got that out in the Pacific right now. As you can see, it has 161 mile per hour max winds on it, and it is turning around. It's headed towards Tokyo as we go into about the next 36 hours. It's taking a track very slowly, I would have to say. It's just like this, out towards Taiwan here in the next about 36 hours, like I just said. All right, let's take a look. 81 Kansas City, 84 Oklahoma City, 89 up in Dallas. The whole U.S. is seeing quite a bit of high temperatures. Weather-wise, there's some rain up towards the Dakotas up north of us, and then a little bit of spotty showers and thunderstorms. And taking a look, we will have some decent chances for some showers and thunderstorms Wednesday into Thursday, and that will come maybe with some severe weather. Severe weather is out towards the west today. A few isolated showers, thunderstorms, gusty winds, small hail. Now that will die down as it moves towards the east. Now we do have a little bit of a chance here as we go into the overnight hours. Early Tuesday morning, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in our northeast counties, maybe even some gusty winds. As there's going to be a system up there, it's going to move down towards the south. Some gusty winds might be a factor overnight into early Tuesday morning. Won't make it this far south, but another chance for some severe weather Tuesday night out towards the same region. That will die down by about 8 p.m. And then Wednesday, we're going to have sunny skies. We're going to have some hot temperatures. We're going to have a line of showers and thunderstorms. Notice it just gets pushed like this. That's going to be due to the wind along a cold front. That's going to bring some hail and some gusty winds with all of these little storms that we see here. That's why we have a marginal risk for severe weather all day on Wednesday. Would not be surprised to see maybe a slight risk within there due to some severe gusts and some small to large hail. Amazon truck, got a truck there. Looks okay out there, and we got a whole lot of sunshine. And our Honda of Lincoln Camp, they put up the flag from this morning. Looks quite nice. It's 84, but it feels like 86. We got a light breeze out there. And we got a few cumulus clouds, fair weather, just starting to bubble up here. And then those out towards the northwest, those will be your little storm clouds later this evening. Low to upper 80s, no 90s out there just yet, but we could see some triple digits off towards Chadron, Scotts Bluff later today. 84 Beatrice, 83 in Omaha, low to mid 80s. But we got the dew points in the low to mid 70s. So what does it feel like out there? Upper 80s, it feels like 90 out towards Aurora, upper 80s. So that's where all the moisture sort of is out towards the west, and that's also where the winds are, about 5 to 10, maybe 15 miles per hour. We'll stay on the light side for those winds. Temperatures in the lower 90s this evening, 70s for temperatures, gust less than 15. Tonight, upper 60s right there near average. Next week, well above average for temperatures and well below average for precipitation. There's our only rain chances as we go into your Wednesday, Thursday. Going into next week, we are tracking some hot and dry conditions, but next Friday into Saturday could be our next rain chance, but that is about like 13 days out, so we'll definitely have to see how that goes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Now to that plane that crashed into a river here in New York City that was caught on camera. All right, I think we need to go to break right now. We'll be right back, everyone. Please stay with us. longer than previously thought, and the USDA reports unusually large U.S. beef export sales, raising doubts over the accuracy of data. Here's Shane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
With U.S. beef prices soaring and supplies tight, the Department of Agriculture surprised meat producers and traders by reporting a spike in the nation's export sales, fueling questions over the accuracy of the data. The beef export sales reported in the weekly USDA data included deals that may have taken place months ago, contributing to the sudden increase, according to Reuters. Traders said the total still looked excessive. Well, the U.S. now has 3 nuclear microreactors working. The Department of Energy backed microreactors from Deployable, Antares, and Valor Atomics, and they've all now reached criticality. All 3 are far smaller than traditional nuclear plants. They're being used to test new reactor designs and fuels that the industry hopes will be easier and cheaper to deploy than today's large reactors. Well, a recent Stanford University study reveals electric vehicle batteries last longer than previously thought. And in fact, the findings show the batteries last 40% longer. For years, conventional wisdom was that EV batteries degrade over time and are expensive to replace. And 2 Texas institutions are teaming up to train students to use cutting-edge technology in agriculture to tackle the growing demand for food amid a national labor shortage in the industry. The University of Texas at San Antonio and the nonprofit Southwestern Research Institute have developed a 24-week program to teach undergraduate students how to use AI, the Internet of Things, and robotics in agriculture. The United Nations estimates by 2050, food production must increase by 70% to feed the expected world population of 9.1 billion. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
Now to that plane that crashed into a river in New York, caught on camera. We're now hearing from some of the passengers. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
This morning, a look from inside the plane that made a hard landing into the East River in New York City. The seaplane coming from Long Island was supposed to land on the river when things quickly turned terrifying.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. The plane down on the water.
Pontoon's good.
What happened?
Pontoon broke.
And all you hear is a boom, and then we go up, and then we go back down, and then we go up again.
And then when I hit my head.
And then she hit her head really hard.
The landing caused one of the struts to break, forcing the plane to lean to one side, one wing in the water. The pilot ordering everyone to put on their flotation devices.
You never to put your PFDs on, okay?
Where are they?
First responders racing to the scene. 8 people were rescued. 2 suffered minor injuries, including 75-year-old Ada Todd.
Now I have a big headache and I have big problem with my neck and ribs.
Earlier video shot from the ground appears to show the plane flying close to a helicopter.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was entirely too close.
The charter company says the seaplane was operated by Acadia Aviation. It's not clear what's to blame for the hard landing. The FAA now investigating. A preliminary report is expected this week. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Still to come, the rowing rock star in the spotlight, how she was able to do something no other American woman had ever done before. Stay with us. Who made history this weekend. She became the first American woman and fastest person ever to row from California to Hawaii. Kelsey Fender arrived in Hawaii Friday night. Hundreds of people gathered to cheer her on as she completed the 2,400-mile, 43-day journey from Monterey, California. It was the row of a lifetime, sailing right into the record books. Here's ABC's Lara Spencer.
This morning, Kelsey Fendler is celebrating after making history.
Kelsey! Kelsey!
The Grand Canyon River rafting guide becoming the first American woman to row solo across the mid-Pacific.
It was very surreal. I think it was hard to soak in that I had actually made it.
Hundreds gathering along Honolulu Harbor as the 32-year-old pulled in, completing the historic trip from California to Hawaii.
It was very intense and just there were so many people there and it was very wonderful.
She began her 2,400-mile journey on May 21st.
Day one of becoming the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii.
Arriving in just 43 days, 17 hours, and 55 minutes.
You can see land over there. That's Oahu right there.
Appearing to break the speed record for both men and women.
I didn't expect to get in that early, but I picked up a lot of speed at the very end because there was some good current going into Honolulu.
Fendler telling us her quest served as a reminder of the power of Mother Nature.
I was definitely scared at points. But then you put that against some of the latter days where you get to actually soak in how immense the open ocean is.
Still ahead, a love story for the ages. More details about that viral Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift wedding. Stay with us. Kelce in their honeymoon era. The two tied the knot at Madison Square Garden over the weekend, and we're learning more about all that went into making the night so special. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
Taylor Swift is entering her honeymoon era, making her love story official with Travis Kelce. Her wedding night sparkling. New York City's Madison Square Garden transformed into a garden for the celebration. The July 3rd wedding and reception attended by more than 1,000 friends and family, with A-listers Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper, Karlie Kloss and longtime friend and collaborator Ed Sheeran. After the storm, something was born on the 4th of July. For the ceremony, a spokesperson for Swift confirming the bride and groom wearing custom couture Dior, their brothers by their sides. Jason Kelce serving as best man, Austin Swift as man of honor.
The ceremony was officiated by actor and friend Adam Sandler.
Sorry you had to hear that, Mr. Gilmore.
After he worked with Travis in Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes, there were 1,000 people there. It was MSG, but at the end of the day, it felt like a family. Their closest friends that they've collaborated with and played with over the years were there.
After the party, Donna Kelsey, Travis's mother, giving her seal of approval.
It was magical, man, magical.
The last time Swift was in the spotlight at MSG, she paid tribute to Stevie Nicks. And reports say the rock icon was among the evening's performers. People reporting Sir Paul McCartney also performed, singing the Beatles' #1 hit, I Want to Hold Your Hand, for the first time in public since 1964. Guests sharing photos of the red carpet-worthy outfits on social media. Selena Gomez wearing a gold Oscar de la Renta dress less than a year after Taylor wore a similar number from the same designer at her wedding. J-Lo and Patrick and Brittany Mahomes. A few even sneaking photos from inside the venue itself.
And before we go to break, here's a live look outside at a Barry Law Tower camera. Final check of the forecast is next. Frontier Tour to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Their run is officially coming to a close after 50 years. They'll be traveling across North America, playing their hits for the last time together on the stage through the end of November. Tonight's show is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Tickets are still available now. Don't stop believing.
Dream on. Yes, sir. Don't stop believing and don't stop dreaming.
You gonna be able to get through this forecast?
Yeah. All right, well, today, the journey, the temperatures, they'll be dropping into the 70s, so not too bad of a night and evening. The winds will stay less than 15 miles per hour, that is on the gust side. And temperatures just right around average. Our next rain, Wednesday, Thursday.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is next. Have a great rest of your day.